Hello and a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in Kiel for the 4.7 Laser World Championships. And today we present you the Gold Fleet of the boys. Those are picture from outside. The 4.7 are on their way to the waterfront, to our Course Juliet, and this means a warm welcome from us. My colleague Kevin, thank you very much for joining.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's good to have you, ladies and gentlemen. We had great sailing yesterday. Yesterday we showed you the Gold Fleet of the girls, and there was a real fighting on the water, good conditions. So what was your personal highlight yesterday?
My personal highlight was I have two actually. It was both in the second race. The fight on the first downwind, of course, because the Belgian girl was between these three boats, and basically the whole finish of the race really close, and the smartest win. So it's nice to see.
Absolutely. Great sailing out there, great conditions, and all the highlights from yesterday has Niklas Lazoga Hemke. Welcome to day 5 for the 4.7 Laser Worlds here in Kiel. It all started with a little delay because of the thunderstorms, but we got on the water and got some great action here. It was the day of the turns at the Laser 4.7 girls competition in Kiel Schilksee. Not only the weather turned completely in the afternoon, but also the leaderboard changed quite significantly after the two races of the Gold Fleet. After a long delay, the sun came out in the early afternoon over the Kieler Förde, and the wind remained consistently strong. Kiel Sailing City proved once again their international reputation as one of the top locations for sailing. Leading Federica Catarossi from Italy had two terrible races with the 39th and the 31st and dropped to 5th overall before the final day here in Kiel. Race number 1 was dominated from Victoria Lehmann from Poland, who won the race with a lead of almost half a minute. One of the winners of today's two races was Yuli Baruch from Israel, who came in second in race number 1 and just lost by 1 second in the second race. She finished the day in second place overall.
The second one, I started not good. I was in the right on the course, not on the left, and the left was better for the day. And then for the finish line, I was first, and I think I missed it. I finished second.
Emma Sevalon from the Netherlands had a bad first race to take her discard with a 43rd. Nonetheless, after the final race too, she clinched the top of the leaderboard after a 4th place in the second race. Quite well positioned is also Maria Klushkina from Russia, who is sailing this regatta consistently in the top 10 and is now in a strong position for tomorrow's final race. The unlucky phase of today's racing in the Gold Fleet was Greek Tamara Tambakidou. She ended up in a tight battle for the top, but flipped the boat on final leg to see Carlota Sanchez winning the race.
I was very nervous because this championship is not going well for me, so I just tried to do the best I could till anyone passed me.
An excellent race day comes to an end. We had great pictures from the water, great racing. In the background you already see the preparation for the next races, so stay tuned. See you then. Yeah, beautiful pictures, ladies and gentlemen, from the water. Great race action. So just tell us, Kevin, how hard is that if you lose a race by 1 second?
By 1 second you regret it. It's 1 point. She's going for the top board, so every point counts. And especially because she was in front, and if she sees the pictures again, she will understand how she could have saved it. But it's still a great race. She showed yesterday 2 second place. Um, Even if there is that little last mistake on the water, she had the best day, and she can be proud. She's doing a wonderful championship.
Absolutely, good sailing, but 1 second is really hard, really bitter. So today we show you the gold fleet of the boys, who is going to go for gold. But you just have to imagine, ladies and gentlemen, we got over 620 sailors here, 620 sailors, over 40 nations. It's incredible. As we see, it's only 13 minutes and 30 seconds to the start. 40 nations, and one guy came all the way from Brazil, Andrew de Oliveira. Good day. We spoke to him yesterday. Overall ranked number 7, Andre, thank you very much for joining, and Joao is doing the translation for us. So just tell us your story. You came all the way from Brazil to the northern part of Germany here. How does it feel here, and what did you experience so far?
Tu vieste do Brasil, vieste aqui para a Alemanha. Como é que está a ser a experiência até agora?
Bom, a minha meta era ficar entre os 30, por eu vim sozinho e não ter técnico e tal. Não imaginava até entre o top 10 aí nesse campeonato. E está sendo uma experiência muito boa. Estou conseguindo me virar sozinho aqui na Alemanha e pretendo estar mantendo a minha média aí até o final do campeonato.
He says that he didn't expect to be in the 10 first. His goal was to be in the 30s, but he is getting to get it for himself, and with no coach and nothing, but he is doing it, and he hopes to keep going like this to the end of the championship.
Okay, so how did he experience the championships away from sailing here in Germany and so far away from home?
Yeah. Como é que está a ser, para além das regatas, como é que está a ser o campeonato aqui na Alemanha, assim tão longe de casa?
Tá sendo difícil realmente. Eu estava num hotel a 10 quilômetros aqui do clube, então tinha que vir toda hora de ônibus sozinho. E por eu também não falar inglês e ter essa dificuldade, realmente era bem difícil. E com os meus amigos de Portugal, consegui ficar numa casa perto e poder ter uma facilidade de chegar aqui. Então, questão de transporte já facilitou e graças ao apoio deles também, de reboque e tal, facilitou bastante.
He says that it's been tough, but because before we arrived, the Portuguese, he had to take a bus to here, and he doesn't speak English, and that's hard. But now with our help, the Portuguese is the transport is easier, and everything you can the the tow in water and everything, it's much easier now, but it's been tough.
Okay, so the Olympic Games just started yesterday night, and a big role model, a big idol is Robert Scheid. So, does he look up to Robert Scheid, and is he going to be the next Robert Scheid?
Ele perguntou, ele disse que os Jogos Olímpicos começaram ontem.
Sim.
E uma grande estrela do Brasil é o Robert Scheid. Se tu vês o Robert Scheid como um ídolo e se achas que vai ser o próximo Robert Scheid?
Bom, pelo meu desempenho aí nesse campeonato, acredito que o meu nível em relação ao mundo, ao campeonato mundial, está muito bom. E acredito que essas pessoas que estão aqui agora, futuramente, eu acredito que vou enfrentar nos próximos campeonatos até chegar nas Olimpíadas de 2020. Então, pretendo estar vindo para a Europa, disputar bastante campeonatos para poder conseguir uma vaga para as Olimpíadas de 2016.
He says that by this regatta he thinks that his level is pretty good in the world, so he thinks that people that are in this championship, he will find them in another championships until the 2020 Olympics, and he hopes to get there. He will do more championships in Europe to get better and better and to get in the Olympics.
Okay, thank you very much, Joao, for translating. Thank you very much, Andre. It was a pleasure. We keep our fingers crossed. All the best, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, isn't it incredible, ladies and gentlemen, that a young guy, just 16 years old, all the way from Brazil on his own, and he is on place number 6, Kevin, as we see the leaderboard.
It's even more incredible to see how well he's sailing without coach. To be in the front on World Championship, you need to have a good coach and also a good connection with the coach. He's there to do a lot of work that you can't. He will check the current, he will pay attention to the wind while you're preparing yourself before the regattas, and he has to do everything of that alone. Being in 6th position is quite impressive. Also, when you see he has good days even in hard condition. The second day was particularly hard because he doesn't have the easiest part of the coach, and he's all alone.
Yeah, it's so incredible for me to see those young guys to be already that mature and that professional. Incredible. Yeah, let's check the leaderboard of today's Gold Fleet. In place number 1 is Guido Calinaro, 19 points, and place number 2 is the Dominator, Dimitrios Papadimitriou. Still your favorite, Kevin?
I think calling him the Dominator might be wrong. We have 2 Dominators here. Guido was also really good in France when Dimitrios won a few weeks ago. They are far in front. The championship is not done. There's 2 more races.
Absolutely.
But with the Guido did an incredible job all the way. So he will be on the. I believe he will certainly be on the podium.
Okay, then we got on place number 3, Pere Poncetti from Spain, and in striking distance is Ufo Thomas. Got great, followed by Elia Vitali. We get a story from you later on from for Elia Vitali. Place number 6 is, as seen in the interview, Andre de Oliveira Godoy, 7 Simon Makhanikov, and 8, 9, 10 Leandro Garcia Rom, Mikhail Krasnodowski, and Marcelo Cairo. So this is the leaderboard, the first 10. And yesterday we had a chance, better to say, I had a chance to have a short chat with Dimitri, the Dominator, Papadimitriou. Dimitri, a 14th and a 2nd place today. So how happy are you?
I'm quite happy for final series are good races, but tomorrow is a very important day, the last day. I have to give it all my best. I have to be 100%.
Are you already a little bit nervous? Do you feel the pressure for tomorrow?
Yeah, I start thinking of pressure for tomorrow since when I finished the race. I don't know what. I'll do my best.
So the conditions today up to 20 knots out there from the gusts, so it should be the same tomorrow. So how are you going to deal with it, and how are you going to be the world champion? Tell us the secret.
I'll try to do sailing, only sailing. I will not watching the others, my opponents. I'll do my best and I will try and let the other guys to make the mistakes.
Okay, thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was the guy who was ranked number 2, Dimitrios Papa Dimitreo. And we're back in the studio. So, do you think it's all about those 3 guys to grab for gold, or it's only a battle between Dimitrios and Guido?
The battle will be much more between Guido and Dimitrios. I talked with the Belgian coach this morning that was in France and told me that last, before the last day of France it was the same thing. Guido was first, Dimitrios was second, and he was able to pass him on the last day. So Guido might have a deja vu situation, but I think through all the championship, he did a better job. Today comes the second discard, so Guido has still one place for one mistake, but it will be close.
Okay, so we got under 5 minutes to the start of the gold fleet. You know who's going to go for gold. Those are the live water pictures, but I had the chance to catch up with the guy who might go for bronze, Uffe Thomas Gard. We had a little chat just a couple of minutes ago. Uffe, thank you very much. It's very close to the start. You're going out right now. You're in place number 4, so still within striking distance for bronze. So how are you going to deal with it?
I'll try to sail as
Help you.
fast as possible and don't get too stressed.
Yeah.
Just sail as good as I can.
So what about the nerves today? Is it also a nerve-wrecking game out there?
Yeah, it definitely is.
So you think you get it, the bronze place?
I'll try.
Okay. Good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank
you. Yeah, as I already said, it's so incredible. You know, it's just not to imagine. You know, this guy is going on water and just giving me an interview. Really cool. We have a look at the water, Kevin.
So the wind today, it will be pretty no big shift announced. I watched three forecasts. One says it's completely the same direction. One is telling me it's gonna turn a bit to the right, the other one a bit to the left. So it might be interesting how the sailors react to it. And the wind is supposed to pick up. For the moment, it might be the lightest they had since the beginning of the regatta. But especially during the second race, the wind will definitely come up, and we'll have a good fight to finish the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. When I look on our sheet here, gusts up to 24 knots. It's almost survival mode, isn't it?
It will be survival mode for some guys. The top guys are able to sail in these conditions and are pretty fast in these conditions. They showed it the second day by winning races in heavy wind, so they won't struggle with it.
Okay, so it's a little less than 3 minutes, so we just have the time to have a little look at our course here in the Kieler Förde. We fly in and we are on course Juliet. Got an upwind start, then the first mark, then the reach, then we go downwind to the leeward gate and upwind again, and one more downwind, then we got a little reach, and at the end we got the upwind finish where we had pure trauma yesterday when the ladies just finished and just lost or won by 1 second, and this is our 3D animation. We're back on live pictures here, just 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. What's going on in those young kids' minds right now?
I will talk for the first guys. They are watching. They need a good start. They need a good race. Um, Especially Papa Dimitriou, he still has a 12-point counting. He wants it gone, so he wants to go in at least top 5. So they will pay attention, of course, to where the other good guys are. They have these fleets over the life jackets, so they are pretty easily recognizable. But they will mainly focus on their race. Like Papa Dimitriou said, he wants to sail, not pay attention to the rest. I think it's smart. When you start fighting the others, we saw it times and times already in this regatta. The guy waiting just behind pass you, and okay, you maybe won one boat, but you lost 2. So in the end, you're losing. We can see they are paying attention less than 1 minute. Little banana. But we can still expect a good start from all these guys. Even though they are still in youth, they did many starts already. They know how it works. And they will especially try to avoid the early starts.
Absolutely. So, as you said, a little banana, just 20 seconds right now. Everybody tries to be as close to the starting line. So, lovely picture here. You got to imagine that line between the committee boat and the pennant here right in front, and off we go. Just four. What do you think, Kevin?
I think it's a nice start favoring the left side.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 boat over, maybe clear start. Now we can see the guys who went on the left will be able to cross the fleet, because I think I see a little bit more wind on the right side. It's hard to tell from the drone view, but yeah, we can see the Turkish sailor that will be in my story of a bit later today.
Yeah.
With Ilya Vitali. He's one of the sailors that can get back in that top 10. We see Uffe on the right side, so completely different choice.
Yeah.
Guido and Dimitrios more in the middle, probably more secure start. They don't want to risk going on the wrong side. For the moment, all the fleet on the starboard tack, what's it logic? They mostly all have the same speed. If there's no change to the wind, it will stay like this. It looks like on the GPS at least the left side is pulling a bit in front, but it's still really on one line basically.
Yeah, okay, so we don't have any confirmation right now if it was a clear start. But our guys in the background, Stefan Harnisch and the guys are checking it, and as soon as we get something, you will hear it. And the guy who's leading is Turkey 21-21-21. And as you see already, we got an upwind here, and there's a lot of body work going on. He is tacking upwind, so there is full concentration. The body is in full power, and off we go.
I think he tried to cross. He saw it. He was just too short. He tags back. He waits for a better shift. But we can see the a few guys on the left side are crossing right now, trying to get in front of the right side where Uffe is. They especially don't want to let them, if I saw the wind correctly on the right side, they don't want to give the opportunity to the right guys to get the wind and pull ahead. We see Guido and that is going more to the right side. I'm not sure, but I think he had to tack away. Maybe he lost his position on the start. Oh no, sorry, Dimitrios, not
Yes.
Guido. Guido is still on the left side together with Elia Vitali. Now we can see. I don't know if they have the same coach, but it could be a hint that they are both on the same side. Italian guy seems to go more for the left for the moment. We see the waves are starting to build up. The wind is picking up, so it will be again hiking conditions. Work with the body, and I expect a good fight on downwind.
Absolutely. The guy who's in the foreground here, Turkey 21-21-21, is Yilkan Turmasa. He had a 6, an 18, and 18, and also some top 10. So quite some good performance here from the Turkish guys so far.
Yeah, and he was. I'll tell my story
Yes.
about Ilya Vitali and Yilkan. Ilya Vitali got a disqualification yesterday on the last race, did by Yilkan. So if somebody doesn't respect the rules on the water, you can protest him. You go when you come back from the water. You go in the jury room.
What exactly happened there?
So what I can see from the jury board is that it was coming up to a mark. There are of course rules of who can pass first at the mark. Ilya didn't respect this mark. Maybe try to push itself between Yilkan and the mark. So they come ashore, they discuss it with a jury, and the jury takes the decision depending on the two stories they hear. It was quite bad for Ilya. He dropped a bit. I don't know in which position he was before the disqualification. Probably around the 10th place. And now he has a 15 counting. I think he wanted it gone. And of course, you don't want these letters. When I told you, like yesterday, you want to avoid as much as possible the letters in the results, and the disqualification is probably one of the worst letters you can have. It's maximum points, but it's on a mistake you did. Sometimes just leaving one boat pass to catch him later is much smarter than going in a fight when you don't respect the rule and get a disqualification afterwards.
Yeah, what a pity here for Ilya Vitali. Got disqualified in yesterday's second race. Yeah, lovely pictures from our drone here from the Kieler Förde. Weather conditions are ideal, and those guys are really ambitious. They want to go out on the water and want to perform. Yeah, it's just incredible what they bring to the table here at the Laser 4.7 Junior Worlds. We started with a ranking of Guido Gallinaro in first and Dimitrios Papadimitriou in second, followed by Pere Ponsetti from Spain. But right now we got the actual leaderboard on the left side here. This is the Gold Fleet who is going for gold. We show you 2 races today, and we still see a lot of lead changes here all the way through.
It's because they're really close to each other. It's in the middle of the upwind, so they are basically still all on the same line. It's coming up to the mark that people will make mistake, have a shift that the rest doesn't have, and that will see a clear leaderboard. We can see that our top guys are in the first line. That's what you want. You don't want to be pushed behind and be in the bad air. It looks like the left side is crossing quite nicely right now, so Ufa might have some problem on the right. Um, we saw Dimitrios attack earlier, going also to the right, so he might be in a bit of problem. The two Italian guys are also on the left, so winning for the moment, but we are still far from the mark. Everything can still change. We can see here there's nearly 10 boats on one line, so nothing is done.
Yeah, as we just heard from Mandus Frese and Stefan Giesen, the principal race officers on the committee boat, there one guy, we don't know yet who it was, touched the pin end and did not do a penalty turn right now. So we will figure out who that is, and then we will tell you.
So that's also a breaking of the rules. It's kind of a stupid mistake, I must say. The line is big enough. You don't want to push completely to the pin end. You might get disqualified. So to avoid disqualification, if you touch a mark or touch a pin end, for example, because of course these things can happen, you have to do 2 penalty turns. 1 penalty turn for marks, 2 penalty turn if you have something with another boat. But of course, having that at the start, it puts you behind, and he was probably hoping nobody saw, but the committee saw, and he might have some problems tonight.
Yeah, what a pity in the Goldfried race here. So as we see the ley lines coming closer, the first upwind mark will appear shortly on the left picture here.
We see Guido in these 5 top boats crossing from the left. He's showing he's not going to let what happened in France happen again. He's taking that last day from the right side, from the correct side, and he will push to get to a good place. I think he might even be able to kill the championship if he has a top 3, and that Dimitrios has a little bad race, so he will give everything for you being able to kill the championship. That's what you want to do. You don't want to leave the other ones, give another one chance to come back. Of course, for us, and the suspense is it's better if everything is played in the last race, but I can totally understand he will give everything right now.
Absolutely, as we see Zoltán Weiser from Hungary in the first, in the lead here, Roberto Bermudez and Guy Usher, 1, 2, 3, and in fourth, as you said, Guido Gallinaro. And in the back we see, on the right hand side of the course, Dimitrios Papadimitriou.
So we see that they are crossing with a left shift. The guys on the right know they are arriving close to the ley line, praying for the shift to come back. It might not be done yet. The left is looking good, but we see all the boats on the right tacked again. Papadimitriou making a nice comeback. So what I just said about killing the championship might already not be the case anymore. I think that the mark running will be really interesting.
Absolutely, and we still got a little bit of time there. There's something special because in the 10th race you can have another discard.
Yes, so a discard is you can completely take away your worst 2 race. Now all sailors already have 1 discard. So for example, Guido sailed a 12 in the first final yesterday, and he can take it away. And for some sailors, it's really interesting. I saw a sailor who was a sailor from Singapore in 12th position right now. And we see the arriving at the mark Guido in a great position. Papa Dimitriou just behind. Uh,
And
Coming
Zoltan
nicely on
Weise,
the ley line, not like we saw yesterday, lots of boats over, so they see us. Of course, there's a few guys, but if Guido looks like he's gonna round in first and second position, he must feel great. He's probably gonna turn behind like right now, trying to find where Papa Dimitriou is.
yeah. First, we go around the first mark, and you just saw what kind of exhausting work that is. You know, I just had an open mouth from Zoltan Weise. You know, incredible how hard they push and how hard they work on that boat.
Especially at the last part of the upwind, you just hike for nearly 10 minutes, but if you stop hiking just before, you will lose because all the boats are coming together. So you want to push yourself, give that little extra push to just win the last meters, hoping that the other guys will crack, and that's why they all come with a mouth completely open. But now, like I said yesterday, it was probably the easy part on the ridge. You have to give everything to pull away, and we can expect a huge fights on downwind today. Nice little waves when you have to work on them. So they have still an hour to work hard.
Absolutely. Good sailing here from those young boys, you know. Like Papa Dimitriou is only 16 years old. It's incredible what they put on such big effort here on the Kieler waves. And this is the leaderboard of the Gold Fleet. Guido Calinero in first, followed by Zoltan Weise, already 16 meters behind, but that doesn't mean anything. And place number 3 is Roberto Bermudez de Castro. So it's good racing, good pictures here from the Kieler Förde.
What is quite impressive, and like yesterday, we can see most of the top guys are in the top 15 for the moment, except Uffe. It means they know they have to be in the front. We can see Dimitrios a bit further back, but he's still in reach of the first guys. He knows he has 2 downwinds and 1 upwind. Oh, Uffe was just behind in 16, so it proved that these guys sail well, are good, and know they have to be consistent. And Guido seems to have taken the lead. He's fast. He's incredibly fast, going under the 2 other sailors. And also we can see Dimitrios choosing the under that is quite hard because you have all these sails taking your wind. But if you're able to work on the wave to get the straight line, basically that's what they are doing. All the rest is doing a banana to the left side of our screen. He's going for less distance, a bit less wind, but we see the wind is picking up quite nicely for the moment.
Now he's on the downwind. Guido Calinaro, Italy, 2260. Here we have him daggerboard up. The main sheet in full ease, and down we go to catch a wave. He had a discard in his first race yesterday, but he discarded place number 12.
Yeah.
And then in the second race, he came in first. So great performance by him yesterday and today as well.
We just saw the 2 jury boat that for the moment on in the top 5 only 1 sailor per Posensny had one yellow flag, so they can try to go as close as possible to the line. The rules, of course, they don't want to get a yellow flag and do the 2-turn penalties, but none of the top guys except Pere might get direct disqualification if he gets a yellow flag.
Okay. There we see the Bülk Lighthouse in the back. This is on the Kieler Förde on the left-hand side. So, and we're back in the 3D graphics. The wind simulation is on the right-hand side, and you see we are on the first downwind on the outer loop. We go up another upwind, another beat, and then another downwind, then a little reach, and an upwind finish. And Guido Calinaro, as you said, Kevin, is doing a great job and is leading the pack by almost 30 meters.
He's having the perfect race for the moment. What he wanted this morning when going on the water, pull away. Now if he's able to control the fleet in the second upwind, what I think he will be able to do, stay in front and try to completely win the championship already right now. Of course, it's the last race. He will have to sail well, but starting with the win on the last day when you are first, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. It all looks so relaxed, but it's also professional what they show us here, those youngsters.
And we see he's pulling away even more. He's probably the fastest on the downwind for the moment.
Picking up a lot of speed, right?
Working hard. That's, I think, the difference. We can see he's doing a great job, especially for youth sailors that don't have so much experience with the boat yet. You don't want to be stopped by the waves. You want them to help you surf. That's why they are going left and right. People might at home might be surprised to see the GPS lines completely swivel till the bottom. It's because they want to avoid hitting the wave in the front and keep the surf going as long as possible.
So you as a sailor, how does those 3D stuff, those graphics help you to analyze your race afterwards?
For me, what I did when I was a sailor in laser, I always drew after the race what I did, and you can see, because it's a sport of experience, you can see where your mistakes were. We're not allowed, except if of course the committee gives us the GPS, but we are not allowed to have a personal GPS on board during the regattas.
So you don't have your mobile with you?
No.
Okay.
And of course, on training, we sometimes take a GPS. It's nice to see the tactical decision that we make and analyze it afterwards. It's all that experience and knowledge that you can gain. But it's always good to go back on your race, and I know these sailors will do it. Even if Guido seems to do a perfect race for the moment, no mistakes, in his mind he probably have little details that we can't see and that he wants to learn from, so it won't happen again.
Yeah.
He seems really relaxed.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knows he's fast. He knows he's in front. You can see the second one that is probably the only one able to steal this first place from him. He's taking the first gate.
So, well, what? Just sorry to interrupt you, but
of course.
right now it's a point of decision. Which way you go, take the right or the left one.
You have to decide it. The coach asked us to decide it already at the top mark after the reach.
Really?
But of course we look because you take the decision already on your downwind, or am I going left or right? If you're first, you can wait a bit more since you're in the front. But it's a decision you will have to stick for a few minutes, because you see now they are going quite far away from each other and they are not able to cross because of all the boats coming on the downwind. I think I see more wind on the right side. It might be an effect of the camera, but if it is, Guido will be able to go till that wind, tack to cross the fleet and completely control it and lock this race up for him.
Yeah, so Guido Calinaro and Zoltan Weise, first and second ranked, they took the right side, and the third ranked Roberto Bermudez de Castro, he took the left side. Let's have a look what Dimitriou will take. Left or right? What do you think?
He just took the right gate.
There he is, yeah.
We're looking the right gate. He knows that Guido is first. He saw it. That's for sure. So that's also maybe why he took the other one. He wants to give him the opportunity to come back. But we see Guido is tacking right now, crossing the fleet, probably with the wind I saw. So I don't see how Guido will get out of the top two. When I see this, the top two, except if Roberto has a wonderful shift on the left side, I think Guido is locking this race up for him.
Yeah, it looks like that. And as you say, he has it under control. He rocks it easily upwind again, zigzagging up right now for the next upwind mark, and beautiful ankle here. We'll see the further the race goes. And
we see all the boats on the right are tacking again, probably with a wind shift, meaning Guido being the most on the right is making the most gain. So Carlos, we just saw on the bottom of our screen, probably tacking to get that wind. We can see that the wind increase even more. For me,
wow, look at that.
He knows that, except for if he does a big mistake with getting out of the rules or a capsize, he will take that win.
Looks like a speeding surfboard here. Full power on the main sheet, full concentration on the upwind. We are going with the leading Italian, Guido Gallinaro.
And we see he doesn't even seem to have to push his limits, knowing that the wind will increase even more in the second wind. Of course, he's working hard, I'm not saying, but he's able to go in even more. So if he wins now, who knows, he will probably do the perfect day and win again the second race. What's interesting now is the fight for the third and even second place, maybe. Yeah. If Dimitrios choosing the left side it was maybe a wrong decision, he can leave a chance for because there are lots of boats just behind waiting for them to make a mistake. So the fight is far from over. We can see Ufa is 13.
Dimitrios 10th, yeah.
He was more on the right side. So it's still a big fight for the rest of the podium, even if Guido is pulling away.
Yeah. So great regatta so far. Well organized by the Kieler Yacht Club. Really good conditions on water and shore here. And here we go.
And we just saw the Hungarian sailor Zlatan Weiss, who was probably second on the right side, third on the leaderboard. Wanted to cross more to the right. Guido knows he's second. He's tacking with him. He's not letting him a chance to go away. And now we see Zlatan tacking. I can expect Guido to tack back in a few moments, just when he's on top of him, to keep controlling the fleet. Maybe he wants to even extend more his lead, or no, there are all the sailors on the right side. We can see now he's in front of these other sailors more on the right, controlling all the fleet. I personally don't see how anybody will catch up right now.
Yeah, you were right, Kevin. Once again, you were right. To me, it appears that you're an expert, you know. I was talking about one dominator. We were talking about one dominator a couple of days ago. But we have exactly two dominators. And yeah, Guido Gallinaro brings on a good show here and an excellent performance, as Dimitrios Papadimitriou is in 11th right now.
Yeah, we can see he's crossing from the left, probably not happy with the choice he just made.
Converging to the middle right now.
What I said in the beginning, you want to choose a side and really stick to it till the end. The fact that he's crossing is maybe that he thinks, okay, my side is not good, I cannot allow myself to lose places. So he's a bit losing right now, but then he can try to come back on the last downwind. We see Perez, number 3 overall, just next to him. Ufo is crashing just in front of him. So even if Guido is pulling away, the third and second place is still in play, and all of these guys can take it. And Guido on the right side, controlling completely the fleet. Everybody is behind him. Zlatan on the same tack as him, just after him, so he won't be able to catch up since Guido is probably faster. Going towards the ley line, a wonderful control of the fleet by Guido, the second upwind.
Yeah, what happened to our Spanish guy there on the left-hand side? You know, it's a lack of wind there.
Yeah, maybe lack of wind, maybe a shift turning a bit to the right. He seems like he's sticking to his side. Or now we see the silver fleet going on the downwind. It can also be wholly tactically
Yeah.
because it's a wall of sail again. You don't want to cross them.
There's Uffe. You see him?
Yeah, Uffe going more to the right, probably to avoid the guys on the downwinds. Guido can allow himself, since he's closer to Mark, to stay a bit closer, even cross inside of these. He just wants to keep the second and third behind him. So if they go in it, he will pay attention to the guys on the right, but he will stick with them.
Yeah, but Roberto Bermudez de Castro fell back to 6 or place number 5 right now because he's on the other side. But Guido Calinaro still ahead
Now
on the fleet.
one of these last tacks going to the ley line, rounding the mark. I hope for them that most of the silver fleet passed, so that we don't have a mix-up on the second downwind.
A lot of traffic here. Holy.
Guido
holy
doesn't
camoli.
seem really happy. But of course the committee is sending the fleets, and sometimes they cross. As a sailor you hate it because you feel like you're being robbed. There are other people in your course, but things that can happen. It's the same for everyone. Everyone has these boats coming downwind now. Since it's gold and silver fleet, it's even worse because those guys did a much better championship at least.
Yeah.
So they will probably be faster on the downwind and catch up. At the downwind gate, we might have problems too by people rounding to do the second upwind in the silver fleet, and the rest wanting to go to the reach. It seems like a lot of boat pass, so I think maybe both fleet will be just one after the other. We see here the fight for the second place with Zlatan Weiss and Giovanni Regengli.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we are.
all the fleet pass. A little bit of a gap, so it won't be too much of a problem
There we
for
are.
Guido.
Yes, we are
And
around
He's alone. He knows it.
the upward moment.
He did a great job. He's really alone. Yeah, it's
Nobody with him.
Yeah.
There the first one comes, the Hungarian and
probably
the Swiss
even
guy.
a bigger lead than Victoria yesterday.
Yes.
We see.
We always keep in mind, we always keep in mind the Natalie from Greece
Oh
yesterday.
yeah, of course. But he's so far in front. I think
Yeah.
he can allow himself to capsize and still keep his place.
Yes.
Of course, we hope it doesn't happen. But
So
we see that the second place is a big battle between 5 boats. Even more coming now. The Spanish sailor that chose the left side lost a bit, but he's still in the front. His race is far from over. Let's see how the top guys react. I think Uffe is going to arrive to the mark in just a bit. Yeah, we can see him coming right now behind the Peruvian sailor.
There he is, yeah. Norway 20-1111. There he is. It is going round the mark right now.
I think Dimitrios is just behind the Australian sailor. Our Brazilian friend is there also. All the top guys are still in the game. And of course, these races they want to be able to catch up with the top boats. Gold rate it counts even more to win a point than in the fleet races. So yeah, 120 meters.
Holy cow.
And especially now, he's alone. Sailing alone is much faster than having boats beside you. So he will probably extend his lead even more. He showed on the first down when he was fast. He's having fun.
Yep.
He's probably he just especially put a huge option on the World Championship right now. He's first. He must have fun right now.
Absolutely. No, as you said, on the first down when he already was so relaxed and looked relaxed and put on a great performance right now. It must be even more relaxed for him. He is mentally strong and leading the fleet here. Guido Calinaro, Italy, 22:60. Good job by him. Yeah, but if you look at his results, it's just incredible. Qualification 1, 2, first place, first place. Qualification 3, 4, fourth place, first place. Qualification 5, 6, sixth place, third place. And then qualification 7, second place. And yesterday, he only had one 12th place and a first place. And the 12 was his discard. It's incredible how consistent he is.
And this 6 on qualification 5 will probably be second discard. So
Right.
being able to discard a number 6 in a world championship, you can be proud.
Yeah, and for me, it's just so incredible. Those young guys, what kind of performance they bring onto the table here. It's really, really good stuff at the Junior Laser Worlds in Kiel. Incredible. Look at that. It's almost 200 meters what Guido put between him and Zoltan Weise. My
Well,
God.
of course, he's not stressed anymore.
Yeah.
He knows he won this race, so you're even more relaxed. Zlatan has to pay attention. He has both everyone behind him. So Guido is just having fun and sailing the sport that he loves, and that's the fastest way to sail.
Yeah, catching the waves here looks really nice. If we have a look to the shoreline here at the Kieler Förde. Looks really relaxed. Guido, the guy with the yellow bib.
He's catching up with the last boat of the Silver Fleet.
Yes. Already there.
I,
Honking
hope,
the horn. Dirt, dirt. Out of my way.
I hope you won't have any problem with these last sailors that are less experienced, but he knows he has place to maneuver. Just, of course, keep going fast, but let them go away around the gate. We see he's taking the middle of the gates. He doesn't need to go right next to the mark.
Yes.
And now doing his last reach, nice and easy towards the finish.
He didn't want to give an interview yesterday, but we had a little chat, and he said he doesn't know anything about his secrets, but it's training, training, training. What he said does that training and experience that the thing which makes a good sailor?
It's even more specific. It's hours on the water, because we see here he's proven that he's fast. He's incredibly fast, and if you're faster than the rest, of course it's easier. You make good tactical decision. You're far in front. You make bad tactical decision. You can just come back. Here we see a coach boat or just next to him.
Bulgarian coach boat, yeah.
Of course, we saw the capsize of yesterday. You don't want a stupid wave that you don't see bringing you to a capsize. That's why he was mad, but he's still far in front. There's no problem for him to stay in the lead. Now we might have a great battle for the second place. Zlatan made a bit of a gap. Gerhard Atcher is just behind. Ufa did a great downwind, I think, coming back to 8th place. Pere is just next to Ufa. It's the race is far from over for the back. Of course, our winner, we can see it, but the rest is far from done.
There you see the last downwind mark comes, and then the upwind finish. He's on the reach, but when we concentrate on the battle for place number 2, here is Zoltan Weise and Guy Asher behind him from Israel. And we are back. A warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, sailing fans around the world. We are back here in Kiel, and we have a new world champion, Kevin.
From the quick calculation we made in the studio, Guido is mathematically first, so well done to him.
Absolutely.
Now he can have one last race. He knows he's world champion. He probably did the same calculation as us. Just don't make stupid mistake that will get you a hard disqualification. But I think he's smart enough not to do it.
We have a short look at the leaderboard. Sorry to interrupt you. Only 1 minute, but we could have a check on that leaderboard right now. Only to give you a short impression. Here we go. Guido in first. Congrats. 14 points.
And we see Dimitrios is second. Pretty far from the fight for the second place. We see also Ilya that dropped quite significantly.
And still open between Uffe and Sultan for the bronze medal, both 45 points. We have to go on the water because the start started just a couple of seconds ago. Just talk us through it, Kevin.
We see everybody on the right side, probably a right shift to win picked up even more. They are quite aggressive. We might have a general. We also saw that Pere, the Spanish sailor, is also still in the fight for the third place. So we can expect a big fight between these three guys.
And off we go. The start just took place. And aggressive here on the line.
I think I saw, I'm not sure, the AP flag like yesterday. No, it's a general recall. Which we could expect. Now they will go on a black flag. So no place for mistakes. Especially for these three guys, having a black flag right now would mean dropping quite low. So they will do their best to take a good start, but with no stupid risks.
Yeah, was some good sailing. What we saw from Guido Gallinaro. No black flag start, we just heard. Good racing from Guido Gallinaro. He dominated this first race, and he is the new world champion if we don't have any protests there by the jury, but we calculated that through. And what is the secret of Guido Gallinaro?
I think his speed. He's fastest. Then it makes your life much easier. We can see him in the background over there. Ready to enjoy a race as world champion. And being fast, being also really regular in his races, except a 12 yesterday on the first race. He stays nicely in the front. Now we have a nice view of the drone with the Spanish coach giving last instruction to another Italian coach, giving the last information for the Italian sailors. It might be a hard race for the guys that still have something to play in.
Absolutely.
The wind is picking up. We can see little wind shifts right and left. So it will be a tactical race, and you have tactical and hard race because your legs are tired from the first one. But it's the last race of the championship. They can give everything. They have for sure race day tomorrow. So just give everything you have left to not regret this end of championship.
Yeah, great pictures here from the water. The sun came up and the wind also got a little bit stronger here at the Kieler Förde. So excellent conditions. Well, Kevin, this gives us a little bit of time. You're going out on the water as well, so.
Yes, after when they all come back, I will go with my friend, the Danish coach here. We'll say in the RSX. It's the Olympic windsurf class. So last year I was still in laser, and because I'm a little light, as maybe people saw on the studio views. I had to make a change toward the RSX when you can be a little lighter. Of course, I want to go to the games, trying to go to the one of Tokyo. There's still a lot of training and a lot of hard work ahead. But if I can talk just a little bit about the Belgian team.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
We have a great team. So with a lot of people behind us, physical coach, mental coach, and we had wonderful results. Now the Olympic Games started yesterday. We all hope for Evie, the one who will. Big thanks to her, we have that, and of course the head coach Will van Bladel and the federation. We have a youth team that can come behind her, making good results. I know I saw all the nations doing the same things. So it's great to have that one top athlete that opens the door for all youth athletes to come and go in the Olympic race.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. All the insights from you. You've been an excellent expert for those 3 days of sailing. Yeah. So how do you keep up the tension right now? You know, the start, general recall, it's still not that warm on the water out there.
So we won't talk for Guido, of course. He's in a totally different mindset than the rest.
You already had a little champagne, probably.
But for the rest, they keep focused. They look at the wind. They know it might take some time if there was a big wind shift and that they have to move the mark. Keep sailing, talk with the coach, and everything will be alright in the next race.
Yeah. Do you eat something in between, or is that too?
Here it depends. If you see the mark the top mark going up, you can go back to eat a little something. But in a general, you try to stay focused. You just ate, so if you did correctly, you already ate enough to go in your last race. Maybe I know I always had muesli bars in my life jacket, so maybe a little bar, and then to have a little more energy and be ready for the next race.
But it's really an awful lot of carb burning out there. You need to have the carbs like some cereals or noodles. What do you take in between?
We have just bread. I mean, I had bread because even though I know some sailors are taking pasta, it can be pretty annoying to have a little box and in the big waves. But you can see it if you walk on a parking after a day, maybe like today, a lot of heavy wind. We see sailors are completely exhausted. It's quite funny. The coach don't have a lot of difficulties when it's windy to have the youth sailor in bed early because at 9 o'clock everybody is sleeping on the couch and basically where they sit down an hour ago. So
really,
we after a big day, I remember myself a few times we were just having dinner. You go sit on the couch because it's 8 o'clock, so it's a bit too early, and you just fell asleep in that couch, and then you maybe a teammates just push you and tell you to go to bed, and then you stand up and you go to bed because it's so
without beer.
Without beer, without no alcohol at all.
Okay, yeah, it's incredible how exhausting that sport is. As for all the people around the world who are watching us, it's really, really hard work out there, and you need to have a lot of carbs in your system. As we watch on the countdown, have a look at the countdown. Less than 3 minutes to go. Black flag start, and this is the view on our fleet, which you see on the right hand side from the lighthouse in Bulk. So they're all lined up for the restart of the second race, and it's just a pure champagne round for the new junior laser world champion Guido Gallinaro.
Being able to win a championship before its end, it's huge relief. The last race, you'll just sail it. It's pure happiness. You know, of course, you will want to do well for him.
Yeah,
Imagine he's winning again. It's wonderful. But sailing without all this stress, especially on big events like World Championships, it's really nice to kill the championship before it ends.
absolutely. Yeah, he did a great job so far, great performance, and he was the most consistent sailor when you look at his races.
He basically did what Papa Dimitri did in France. Consistency wins.
Consistently.
And make no mistakes, and you will be in front. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So he made the least mistakes, maybe a little one in the first final yesterday, but it's why the discards are there. Um, and now also we can see even if it's more spread, a lot of traffic on the next to the boat. We see the black flag floating. Um, so no place for mistakes in the last minute. I see on our GPS tracker on the second screen that Guido is more on the right side, together with Giasser. So I think all the top guys will fight for that boat position.
Which side would you prefer right now?
I would go just under. We see the Brazilian sailor. I think
Yes.
that's the position I will favor it.
Okay.
Don't go in the full traffic of just next to the boat, where a little mistake you can kill your start.
Right behind the flag right now.
Yeah, I will go basically where the R is of the flag.
Okay.
So behind, just under the pack, I know I was quite fast, so I will be able to pull in front, and then I'm on the right side of the line without all the problem of the traffic. So it's my favorite position. I know
Okay.
a few sailors like to go fully, but now we
3
see
seconds to go.
the start.
The banana. Off we go. Looks like a clear start. And the Italian right here in the foreground was the first guy to pass the line. Italy 10-5-4. And he's also followed by the Turkish guy and the Spanish guy for 5-7-4.
But we see the right hand side on the left side of our
Yeah.
screen seems to completely power over these guys on the left. Um, so I think the the fight will be on the right. I saw a Greek sailor in front. I don't think it was Papadimitriou, but we can expect him to be also in that pack. For him, Papadimitriou, he just keeps. He has to sail quite a good race to not lose his second place, but he's pretty safe, not so much stress. We see the Spanish sailor, is it one of the top guys?
Periponseti.
Oh yeah, so it's for him, he's taking an option for the third place here.
Yes.
But I doubt that Ufo and the Hungarian guy are far behind.
Yeah, good pictures we see, and they got a real high speed here on the upwind. How many knots do they do?
Oh, I I know it's a question that people ask a lot. I've always been awfully bad
Look at
at this. Yeah, we can see the mast bend. It's because
Totally.
it's windy, so they will pull a lot of kicker. What is the line pulling the boom down,
Yeah.
and then of course the mast bends. You don't want too much power in your sail. It goes fast enough. You just want to be able to keep the bow flat. We see here the Spanish just in front of us hiking nicely.
Yeah, a lot of body muscles, a lot of stomach muscles are needed.
Of course, it's you sailing, so most of the boat are in a slight angle where you would see a start from the top guys. All boats are completely flat, but they still have time to learn, and it's already a great job from them.
Yeah, but you see, Roberto Bermudas de Castro, who took the left side in the last race, he is in front right now, followed by another Spanish girl, Marcelo Cairo. So 3 Spanish guys are in front here.
Yeah,
It's still too early to call, sorry.
no, but it's okay. We mostly see the here the Spanish seems to go to the left side.
Yes.
It might be what the coach tell them. So it's quite funny to see on championship. Really, if it's hard tactical decision, you'll see the land split on the water because they have the same coach, probably the same tactic. And so it's also why having a coach is important, and how impressive the job of the Brazilian sailor was, because he doesn't have that little help.
Yeah. So is it very common in especially in the laser class that coaches come from different countries? Because I talked to the Czech guys this morning and they have an English coach.
For example, my coach is from Czech Republic, so
okay.
Of course you don't always have the luck to have a great coach in your country.
Yes.
I think our Belgium team right now, we don't have a single Belgian coach. coach. And you want the best coach. Um, of course, it's easier if you speak the same language as the coach, but lots of sailors speak English. And
So do you speak Czech with him?
no, we we speak English together.
Very
Uh,
complicated language.
the best thing is to have a good relationship with the coach, have trust between you and him, so
Yeah.
you can have easy discussion and you understand each other when you talk. We see the Spanish sailor hiking really well right now, pulling away from the pack. We have 3 or even 4 Spanish being in front. Um, it's quite impressive, to be honest, especially when we know the speeds of other guys like Guido, Dimitrios, and Ufa. Um, but for the moment, it looks like nearly like a Spanish championship,
Absolutely.
at least on this race.
Roberto Bermudez de Castro is here in the picture. Great start he got, and he is now going upwind. This first upwind leg.
But we have to pay attention for Roberto. Lots of boats are going on his right side. He's making the choice to go on the left. We might have he might have a problem later on if the wind turns more to the right. We had on the start that was cancelled, probably a right shift. The wind can come back. We see Marcelo is trying to cross a little bit with a lot of the fleet, so it's probably a left shift. I think Roberto will come close to Marcelo and try to cross with him.
Yeah. So followed by the other Spanish guy, Cairo. There he is, Marcelo Cairo in third right now, and Ioannis Georgiakis, place number 2. Here we are with the Spanish fleet and one Israeli guy in between.
It seems like the shift is going more to the right. It might be
Yes.
painful for Roberto. On our second screen, we can see that an Italian sailor and a Greek sailor. I don't think it's our 2 top guys are coming really hard back from the right side.
There we also see the knots on the right side of the leaderboard. 4.5, 5.1, 4.3 knots. Yes, and this is the fleet going upwind to the first mark here on the inner loop. As we already told you before, we have an upwind start, then we come to the first mark, we have a reach, and then we are on the outer loop for a downwind, another upwind, another downwind, then a little reach, and then the final upwind finish.
We see here Per, one of our top 3, one of our 3 sailors that can get that 3rd place in a great position, controlling a bit more the right side that Roberto, that might give him the edge when they arrive to the mark. Uh, I'm pretty sure that Uffe and um, Zlatan are also right in that right back.
Yeah, we see what happens there in those places. 2, 3, 4, 5. Who is going for silver and who is going for gold? Still in the game for that second place, of course, Dimitrios Papadimitriou, and there are Pere Ponsetti and Uffe Tomasgaard, and also Elia Vitali for the third, if I'm not mistaken.
No, unfortunately, Elia had the bad race
Yeah,
before.
he had the bad race, right?
He was one of the sailors that couldn't allow himself to do another mistake. He already had his discard. It will still be a good championship for him, but he might be disappointed of losing it on the last day. We see Papadimitriou on our right side, going all the options that the Spanish sailors. It might be an interesting cross when we come to the top. He's already pretty close to his ley line, so
Yeah.
not so much room for extra maneuvers. I hope for him that there's not a left ship coming, because then he might be in problem. We know that even though he has a little bit in front of the other guys, he cannot allow himself to do a bad race, but it seems like the right ship is coming in. Now we will power through on the right side on top, and might be win turn the mark as first.
Yes. So he started really well, Dimitrios Papadimitriou. Got some very good places at the beginning, but then, yeah, Guido Calinaro was just better than him.
Yeah, I think less mistakes. That's
Yes.
they showed us all summer that they are pretty close in level, probably pretty close in speed. One got France, the other one got Germany, and it was a good battle. I think it's two sailors that would keep battling, even if they go in other classes, like the laser radial, would probably will be the next step.
Yes.
Here we see Pere a little bit on the left side of Papadimitriou. He's in the spot he wished he would be, fighting for the front, going to grab that third place.
Yes. As we see them closing in to the first mark. And he is in the lead. No. It's probably pretty close there between Ludwig Lindqvist, Arturo Martinez, Moratabli.
Yeah, Papadimitriou slightly oversailed his ley line, but now he can just go in speed mode, so a little bit lower, and I think he will be able to roll over the rest of the fleet to turn the mark as first.
There we have Pere in the foreground here. See, he looks around and
There's a lot of traffic beginning
Yes.
down on his right side. He's stacking. It was a good decision. Waiting longer might have bring him in problems. Coming from the left side can be tricky. We see he has to duck under a few boats. It's not a problem to lose maybe 1 meter passing behind the boat. It's better to go in a stupid battle and
Yeah.
maybe have to solve it in the jury room. We see Dimitrios rounding the top mark.
How much speed he got around that.
He probably wants to do what Guido did on the first race. Just go in front, leave the rest behind.
Oh, really good.
He's he's nearly twice as fast as all the rest.
Incredible, yeah. Speeding up here on the downwind, on the reach.
On the reach, yes.
Good body work. Getting as much wind in the sail as possible. Leaning outward. And those are the pictures of our drone. Eike Schütte is our drone pilot. Great stuff here. And he already got quite some meters in between of him and Julio Rodan Banon.
We can see with the speed right now that the wind picked up quite a lot.
Yes.
So the second upwind will be physical. They have already won one race in the legs. I know personally the Dutch guy. I know he's a bit stronger guy. So it means now some will be in survival mode. We saw this morning Uffe is kind of a smaller type of guy. He might have problems, while Pere is also pretty big. So it might be the changing point, the fact that the wind is picking up like this.
Yeah, so just tell our viewers, we got gusts out there from up to 25 knots, 24 knots, around that. So how did you experience those big gusts?
Oh, I was a light sailor, so these days I know I didn't like them at all. But I'm lucky. I'm quite tall, so I was using my height as much as I could, and working with my main sheet to open my sail and let this extra power in my sail out and still go forward. Of course, it's hard to compete when you're 10 kilo lighter than the guy next to you. But then you have to sail smart. It's not because it's windy that the wind doesn't change and you don't have to take a smart decision. And for me, it was basically, if I was on a Champions League like this, a day like today would be try to avoid big mistakes and stay in the front.
Yes, and here we see it. This is the end of the reach, and downwind we go as the arrows on the right hand side show you this is the wind direction, the wind animation.
And we could see Uffe and Zlatan pretty far back in the fleet. I don't know if Pere was able to see them, but Pere now is in front. He was behind. He can't see the other guys. So I think he will sail fast, and it looks like he might take that third place.
Yes. Here we are with Pere Ponsetti. And the Bulgarian guy is back. Lyubin Ilanov Tenekediev. He just was in the picture. We just got told from our track guy Andrew that he doesn't have a tracker. So there might some problems arise in the graphics. We will see that later on, but this as an information for you. And also Ludwig Lindqvist is coming very close to Pere Ponsetti.
We see them working a bit less. I think it starts to be really windy for them, as they are youth sailor, not in the 4.7 so long. They want to be sure that the boats stay upright, and later in maybe next week you will see in same conditions the sailors keep doing the full work, and we see one capsize. It's from Israel.
Was it Guy Ascher?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe Guy Ascher.
Yeah. It was Guy Ascher from Israel, which just capsized. But he did a good job to bring it up again.
Yeah, he bring it up again pretty fast. But of course, the capsize, it makes you lose. We see the Greek guy also nearly capsized. So the gusts are coming in. The water is pretty flat. You want to keep the boat straight. It's not, especially in the youth sailing, if you're not full speed, not making the mistake of tipping the boat over. But we see the Julio and Dimitrios, they are able to keep working even though it's windier, and now they're pulling even farther ahead.
So what exactly did Papa Dimitriou do different than the other ones? Did the other ones have too many mistakes, or is he just too good? Because to put that, like Guido Gallinaro put such a big lead on that reach and on the downwind.
So the thing is, when you're together with other boats, there's wind turbulence, there's little waves, so you're not as fast as if you're sailing completely alone. So if you're able to make in the first upwind and the reach the gap, it's not that hard to pull away. You have just normal conditions like you can have in training. You see, he doesn't have this little wave that probably made Guy Ascher capsize, and he's able to keep working completely, and that's what helps pull you away.
Yeah.
That's why we said that being in first is an easy race, even though people might not realize, saying, okay, he's in first, it's probably the hardest. If you're able to pull away like this, you just have to control the fleet, because your speed will be there. You just proved it in the first upwind, so you don't have to worry. We see he's putting a huge gap between him and Julio, so we'll have a similar race as the one before for our first position.
Yes. Look at that, already 100 meters in between Papa Dimitriou and Julio Jordan Banon. 105 meters right now. So he knows how to ride the waves downwind.
He knows. He still, of course, have a lot of work to do, being a youth sailor. But it's like I was saying yesterday, going fast on downwind is always good. We see quite clearly that the Spanish team did a great job. They have 4 sailors in the top 10. Guido, we just saw quickly, Guido is in 38th position right now. I think he will want to come back, but he probably knows his first here.
Good speed.
Papa Dimitriou turning the mark easily. Now he just look to the left, see how far the second one was. He's going to the ring that was on the right side right now. We see the darker spots. And he basically knows, except if he capsized, he won the race.
He took the ride buoy on that turn and is all alone
Yeah,
by himself on the next upwind.
Right side seems to be a good option today.
Yeah.
We see it's already we already have 3 upwinds. The 3 upwinds I think were on the right side. So quite logical decision. I think lot of boats will follow Papa Dimitriou. He also went on the left side the race before, a decision he might have regretted. So his choice is understandable.
Absolutely. Good job here. Great impressions from the water. The Dominator all by himself sailing to silver here at the 4.7 World Championships in Kiel. Look at that. This looks good.
This might be the more interesting part for us in the race.
Yeah.
A lot of boats are pretty close with Giulio, Marcelo Pere, Ludwig Pep, Giascher, even Do Vels. This top 10 is really close. They will fight for the top position. They want to finish the championship on a good race. And this is where the race might happen. Yeah, as I said, we see nearly every boat is taking the right mark. Only 3 boats went for the other one.
Yeah.
Even though following the first, it's harder to catch him up because you're making his job easy by following him. You don't want to lose the front position. Even though being first is great, second, all the place in top 5 is a good option for a championship. Pere is in third place right now. I didn't see Ufe or Zoltan. He probably didn't either, so he will keep sailing hard.
Yes.
Being with teammates, he probably knows he won't have some guy making his life harder around him. So he will go for the bronze place, I think.
Yeah, Uffe told me that his nerves were messed up in that race a couple of days ago, and yes, I think he's in 33rd right now. Yeah, the bronze medal swims away.
Yeah, but it's still a great championship. He's young,
He's so young.
and I mean, being fourth, he's 16 years old. He did a great race, winning the fourth qualifier.
Yes.
All these guys that are in top 10 and even further can be proud. It was a hard championship, hard conditions. So the guys that are in front worked really hard to get them.
Yeah, it's if you see those guys, as I already said, as I already mentioned in the first race, they are still that young, but they appear to me as real professional ones and really down to earth guys and girls. Yesterday I had a little chat with a girl from Creek, and we were talking about her capsize, and she was close to tears when she was talking to me. And I said, "Hey, come on, you just lost the race, you know. There will be a lot of more races going on. But they really take it serious, that sport."
It's you, especially you have to work hard. So
Yes.
she felt completely robbed of that first place. I will just say that we can see people might ask themselves, why is Guido and Zoltan going on that left side?
Yeah.
Since the right side seems better. They are going basically all for it. They're taking the right shift that already happened down there. So they're hoping that there will be a left shift to come back in the front position.
Yes.
Ufo going completely to the right, believing the right side will stay better. So we see all the options you can take when you're behind. But it's when you're behind, it's mostly you're pushed to the outside. So you have to take a decision that might kill you even more.
Yeah, and we got Papa Dimitrios speeding upwind here. And in the background, there is a different fleet. as I already said. We got over 40 nations here. Altogether, with next weekend, we got over 630 sailors up here in Kiel for those World Championships. So the picture says that there are more sailors on the water, but in our race, the dominator, Dimitrios Papadimitriou, is all alone in the lead here. The mast is bending down and he gives everything, hiking there on the boat. This looks quite as the professionals do, like he does upwind.
We can see he's starting to get there. His body is nicely back.
Yes.
But we can see, if you look, his body, he has one angle in his knee, one is in his hips, and a professional will be a completely straight line. We can see he's already doing correctly the foots that are stretched nicely to get a few extra meters. Working with the main seat to depower the sail when it's too powerful.
Look at his face. He is fighting.
He's fighting, he's working hard. Unfortunately for him, when he gets in the next boat, he will have to fight even harder.
Sailing.
It's how it works. You have to train on the water. Also, we have a lot of hours.
Look at that.
Out of the water in the gym to be able to keep that painful position.
It's a painful position, and it's a fight against the wind and against the water here. Excellent pictures, tremendous body work by Dimitrios Papadimitriou. Great pictures from the water. Really cool. That is junior laser sailing at its best. Really good stuff.
For him, he maybe knows that he lost the first place. He wants to have his revenge. Full hiking. Win the last race as far as he can to get out of the water happy.
Oh, holy! So just tell us about the position right now. Do your body the muscles must ache right now at that point?
You have the top of your top leg is completely burning. You can feel your abdominals stretching quite hard, and the fact that you're in this position with the head back.
Yeah.
It's not the ideal position to breathe, so you're short of breath. But you also know in your mind that the harder you work, the faster the boat goes. So it's hard work. It's 10 minutes. You have to give everything on that 10 minutes.
Okay. So when he's going to round the upwind mark right now, so is there at least a little bit of time to catch breath again?
He will come up to release his kicker, take one breath, and then you go on the downwind full speed. I mean, here he's in front, so he will play it safe, not taking a risk to capsize and leave the rest chance to come back. But on the downwinds, you see the waves are really building up right now.
Wow, yeah.
So he will have to work hard just to keep the boat upright, and the faster the laser goes, the more stable he is. So it's only good to make it work to go fast.
Yeah, he did the right choices. Tagging here.
Yeah, just putting himself a bit more from in front of all the guys on the right side, like Guido. He's staying between the fleet and the top mark to not give a chance to anybody to come back.
Yeah, when you saw that, before he tagged, he just had a look to his back where the others are, and then he had the decision, okay, this is the right one right now?
That's you look where the mark is, and most of the time you already know where the mark is, and you have quick looks at the behind you to see where the fleet is, to see if somebody is not taking a crazy option and might pass you with a shift. And when I see the other Italian sailor crossing back, I think the wind turned even more to the right. It might be really good for Ufa, who went completely to the right side. But Pere is still in a great position. Here we see Ufa coming from the right side, but I don't think he will be able to close these meters on Pere. Zoltan, who chose the left side, he might be in an even worse position right now. But you have to make a choice. Sailing, we can see him on the bottom of the screen. He will be disappointed, especially after the great race he made just before. But that's sailing. You have all the hard working that we just saw on Dimitrios, but you also have all the hard decision. You have to realize you can't take them all right. You have to take as most as possible right. So it happens. The wind is. We try to predict it, but it's still a natural effect. So sometimes it just doesn't want to help you.
Yeah. So, being experienced, taking the right decisions brings you there where Papa Dimitrios is right now. And as we come to this mark rounding, just talk us through. Yeah, all the lines he flips up. Just
So
give us a short
he
expression.
wants to release his kicker just before he passed the mark that we saw him do, because otherwise when he's gonna turn down the boom goes in the water and then you tip over. He probably did also his Cunningham, so the line that stretched the front of the sail.
Sorry to interrupt you shortly. It's a little delayed, our 3D graphics. We got a couple of seconds there. We are a couple of seconds there behind, but he already was around this upwind mark. Sorry.
And then release these two lines before. Maybe even if you have the opportunity to release the third line also, like this. When you turn the mark, you take the first wave and you're directly full speed on the downwind. Here is far in front, but for the Spanish guys that are coming up, this turning point, it's an opportunity to make easy meters if you do it correctly, and it's also an opportunity if you don't do it correctly for the guys behind you to come back. Zoltan seems to have a shift back, quite surprisingly.
And Guido.
Also Guido. So
the champagne race.
They were together around the 30th place, as well as Uffe. We see the top sailors working hard to come back in front. The Pere is in fourth position. I think he can be safe now.
Yeah. So do you think Guido Gallinaro just enjoys his last?
No, I think he's frustrated of not being in front.
Really?
He probably did a mistake in the beginning. Even though you won, the pressure is off, and it's probably why he made that little mistake. You want to finish it nicely. So he might be annoyed, especially because it's hard working. I believe he kept working hard. That's why we see him grab places back. But after the race, he won't be disappointed. He will remember that he's world champion and everything will be okay. Dimitri is flying away on the downwind.
Look at the distance, over 200 meters. It's incredible.
Pere in fourth position, knowing that he's grabbing the third place. So he will be happy too. Unfortunately for Uffe and Zoltan, losing the podium just at the end, it's still a great championship, but the fourth place is the worst place. So they will be disappointed, but they just have to remember, come on, I just did a great championship all along. I can be proud of myself.
Absolutely.
And maybe the Bulgarian sailor is also between all the Spanish boats, because he doesn't have a tracker. But we see 4 Spanish.
Gallinaro, he's quite relaxed here. We don't see any emotions. Is there might something going on what we don't know, but we will confirm that as soon as possible. Guido Gallinaro with his blue cap, like the Italian, sits pretty relaxed on the boat. Yeah, maybe there's something going on, discussing with his coach.
He doesn't seem like the world champion, so maybe we were wrong. It's unfortunate for him then. But he's still second place. Of course, it will be hard for him, knowing that he was so close.
Yeah.
But still.
But we'll hear that from the comedy board, so it's all guessing from us. But we are right now. We think that Guido is the world champion, but our guys behind the scenes are working hard, as the sailors just did on water, to give us confirmation about the new world champion and about the top three: gold, silver, and the bronze medalist. Yes.
Oh, there was when I'm doing that calculation,
Oh ha.
they have exactly this. For me, they have exactly the same points. So there probably that Papadimitriou had one chance, and there was only one possible outcome for him, and that he did it right. I don't know in the sailing instruction if it's the number of first place that will win or the last race. But so Papadimitriou maybe stole it at the last second. Then I want to apologize to because I said too early that Guido was having the win.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
There was a little grin on the face of Guido right now. So, as Kevin, our expert, Kevin Bonville, just calculated this, we have both with how many points?
26 points, I think.
Yeah. So that's what this will mean.
So it means it's written in the sailing instructions. Since I was not competing, I didn't read them. But I will count the number of first place.
Yeah. So maybe we've been a little bit too early to call Guido Gallinaro as the champion, but we keep you updated, ladies and gentlemen. And as I said, our guys in the back are really working hard, as the sailors just did in the waves, and the expert next to me. We will get the numbers as soon as possible. So, well, let's just talk about your personal summary so far. We had 3 days of great sailing from the girls and from the boys.
I think it was a really nice races. I was quite surprised to have so much so hard competition in the youth sailing, and also the championships being so close. We have clearly now two guys far in the front. It seems by the happiness of Papadimitriou that he took the win.
Yes.
Then it's an even better summer for him, European and world champion. For Guido, it will be hard, twice losing
Yes.
in the last day. But I mean, second in the world, second in Europe. He can be really proud. Also, it will be a bit hard, but it's still an incredible summer of these two guys. It's the names that we will keep hearing. That we'll keep hearing through the next years.
Okay, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are still checking who is the new world champion of the 4.7. We will bring you that later. So, but we got some other facts to talk about. So you just talked about your personal week. What's going on for you the next couple of days?
Next couple of days, it's a lot of sailing. There's a lot of wind coming up. Also work in the gym. I had no regatta this year since I was changing boat, but I want to be as prepared as possible for the regatta of next year's coming up. So like I said, it's hours on the water. I'm making them here, and hoping for the best in the future.
Yeah, and for all the watchers and the sailing fans around the world, we got some good news. There's more sailing coming up on Tuesday. The Worlds are not over right now. We will bring you the standard under 21 and the laser radial with the women. And we are back with our live coverage on August 16th. This is next Sunday. So all updates and highlights you will find on the laser page, so laserworlds.com. And all the stories also on Facebook. All the facts, all the highlights from the Laser Worlds. Yeah. I would say we still have to have a look on the water. We still have to check who is number one. We're not quite sure.
From the picture we have, I think it's Dimitrios. Both on the same points. It doesn't happen a lot. We have to read in the sailing instruction who will take the win. when I see Papadimitrios has now win 5 races and no 4 races and Guido 5. But if it's the last race, then we have to see. It will be we can be sure it's a really close championship. Both of them are for me. Both of them are the winners here.
Yeah, so those are live pictures, and they still work on bringing the flag up.
Well, I think the boat capsized completely, so they put the boat better, so it will be easier for the wind. It's windy conditions, so putting the flag up is not the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
But it will eventually be up, and he will be able to sail back with his country colors on top of his sail.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have no information who finally made it. At the beginning, we were pretty sure that Guido Gallinaro was the new world champion. But having those pictures in mind and seeing when the Greek banner goes up and coming back to the calculation of Kevin, our expert, we have the tendency that the dominator, Dimitrios Papadimitriou, probably made it. So there's still no confirmation. So we have a little chat. What are you going to have for tea this afternoon?
This afternoon I'm going back home. I'm eating my pasta. Then on the water, I can see now on the pictures that it's a great wind conditions. So now I'm just hoping that the wind stays like this and that I can have a great training on the water.
Yeah, and by the way, is your girlfriend still here, or?
I think now she's rigging up. She'll probably go training. She has a championship next week with the Radial Women's, so she will be training. I think it's always nice to see these flags floating.
Really great pictures.
He must be pretty sure he's a world champion. You don't want to put it up if you're not sure about it. So even if we don't have the full calculation, the coach probably did them for us, and we have now the pictures of our world champion.
Yeah, look, there's his colleague. Really sympathetic guy. Only 16 years old, Dimitrios Papadimitriou. Incredible talking to him. He appears to me, he's 16 years old. Appears to me so mature, yeah, and he is really sure. And he even gives directions to our camera to show his colleague there up in front of him. So he put on an excellent performance. It was great fun watching him. And probably we will see him later on in the professionals in the standard. What would you say?
I mean, of course, it's still youth sailing, but he showed he was ready to take that next step toward all the categories and bigger sail on the boat. He looks like a good sailor, and we can expect Guido and Dimitrios to come back in all the categories and be in the front again. It's two sailors that don't make a lot of mistakes, that are smart about their sailing, and that's something that doesn't go away. So we can expect them to stay in front.
Yeah, nice pictures here on his champagne ride. The Greek guy, really nice. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there is the Greek banner. We had really nice pictures, great race actions out on the water. Yeah, I think we have to take it for granted, no, for sure, that this is the new world champion. Unfortunately, we don't have any confirmation from the comedy boat, so they are still working hard. So either Guido Gallinaro or Dimitrios Papadimitriou. Those two, either of them, one of them is going to be the world champion. If we rely on the pictures, then it is probably the Greek guy, the Dominator, as we called him here. He did put on a great performance so far. So we still have no confirmation. Check that out on our Facebook site. We're almost at the end, Kevin. Thank you very much for joining.
It was my pleasure. It was a really nice experience for me, so not a problem at all.
Yeah, next time we are going to be together again at the next championships. It was really a pleasure working for you. That was it from here, from the northern part of Germany, and we saw some really good racing, and we think, and the experts behind the scene as well, they think that Dimitrios Papadimitriou is the new junior laser world champion. Thank you once again. We just have another look on the water with some beautiful pictures. And don't forget, the next live broadcast is starting next Sunday. So you got 1 week time. August 16th, we're back. All the highlights, all the stories, and all the facts you get on Facebook, Laser Youth Worlds. I have only one thing to say. Thank you very much with the pictures here from the world champion Dimitrios Papadimitriou. Thank you very much. Warm greetings from the north of Germany, from the sailing city #1. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.